There are 13,000 law enforcement officers in Oklahoma, and less than 10% of them have received crisis intervention training. Recently, reporter Whitney Bryen with our content partners Oklahoma Watch was invited to both witness and participate in a week-long session that one instructor described as a mixture of art and science.
We started the week off the very first day with an exercise called hearing voices. So we put in headphones, and for about 30 minutes, we listened to this recording that was made by people who have schizophrenia. Meanwhile, we're trying to work through a workbook of very simple tasks like a crossword puzzle. It was really difficult to concentrate on that workbook with these voices playing in my head. It was really difficult to focus, and they could start to see why someone with schizophrenia, why someone hearing voices might have trouble responding to their commands in the field.
Whitney, how is this training being received by law enforcement? Are they embracing it or are they wary of it?
There were 32 officers and students in this particular training. And I would say about half of the officers said, I'm here because I want to be. I've heard this is valuable training and I think it can help with my job. The other half said, a supervisor told me, take a week and go do CIT training. So that's why I'm here. So it's really a mixed bag for most departments, I think.
Are there incentives, financial or otherwise, to get the training?
There are some incentives depending on the department. In Oklahoma City, for instance, they make an additional $50 per pay period, which I think rounds out to be over $1,000 a year that they make if they have the CIT training.
An instructor said that this is part art, part science. What does he mean by that?
So a great example, there was a scenario where a woman was delusional, but she wasn't hurting herself and she wasn't hurting anyone else. The art of it comes when he responds to her, his tone of voice. It's about the officer finding the right questions to get the answers they need to make that decision. That's the art of it. So he's making her feel comfortable, opening up to him, telling him the situation, which makes his job easier. And that's a huge part of crisis intervention training.
How does Oklahoma rank in terms of these encounters with police and people that have mental illness, and how violent a situation is it statistically here?
A recent national study found that Oklahoma City was number 2 for police killings in the nation. And Tulsa, I believe, is number 5 on that list as well. So we're not in a good situation in terms of people being killed by police officers here in Oklahoma. A research group called the Treatment Advocacy Center, they've found that people with untreated mental illness are 16 times more likely to be killed by police than people without a mental illness. So it's definitely a crisis here in the country and exacerbated in Oklahoma as well.
Whitney Bryen with Oklahoma Watch, must have been a fascinating experience for you. Thank you for your reporting.
It was. Thank you for having me on, Rich.